In this video, we're going to talk about how to build coalitions. And if that was your question, you are in the right place. Please stick with me for this entire video because you're going to get a lot of information from this subject that you will not find on Google or ChatGPT. To understand how to build a coalition, it's useful to know exactly what they are, why they are important, and how you build one that is just right for you. And that is what we're going to cover in the first half and the second half of this video. Let's start with what they are. It's not complicated, but it's essential to understand this. What is a coalition? It's a group of influential people, people who are opinion leaders in your community, of cause-driven organizations and interest groups that coalesce behind a political candidate during the course of a political campaign. That is the essence of what they are. Now, who are the players involved with this coalition? Well, they could be leaders of your particular party in your state or jurisdiction. It could be other elected officials who are ideologically aligned with you that are willing to be part of your coalition. It could be cause-driven organizations in your jurisdiction who are pushing people in power to make a change in a certain law or a certain policy or to create a certain initiative to solve a problem. It could be special interest groups who normally align with candidates of your party. So that's the essence of what it is. Let me give you a few examples. For example, if you are a Democrat, there are certain kinds of cause-driven or special interest organizations who should probably be expected to naturally align with you. They are public and private sector unions. They are teachers' unions, they are civil service employees, they are healthcare workers, they are environmental organizations, they are social justice and criminal reform organizations that usually line up behind Democratic candidates. And if you are a Democratic candidate, those are some of the places you need to be looking to build a coalition supportive of you. If you are a Republican candidate, certain kinds of coalitions that should be part of yours if you can get them, anti-tax groups, small business organizations that promote the growth and development of small businesses, pro-parent, pro-life, pro-gun organizations, religious freedom organizations. Those are the kinds of organizations, special interest group, cause-driven organizations that normally align with Republicans. That is what coalitions are. Now, let's turn to the next step on our journey here. What do these people get you? Well, they get you endorsements. Endorsements get noticed. Endorsements make news. Endorsements are fodder for your social media posts. Endorsements signal to other organizations and influential people that your campaign is becoming viable and gaining credibility, that you have a certain amount of momentum because important people in important organizations are beginning to line up on your behalf. That is essential, especially if you are a first-time candidate, because the endorsements that get you attention also influence other people, and in certain circumstances, they also get you volunteers and sizable donations. Let's turn to how you build a coalition for your campaign. You start with the people you know. Political party leaders that might be willing to support your candidacy. Elected public officials of your party, office holders of your party, who might be willing to endorse you or share their volunteer list or their donor list. Organizations with which you have ideological alignment or relationships with, who should be supporting you if they're satisfied that you're putting together a credible and a viable campaign. That's how you start, and you create a list of all of these organizations that you would like to endorse you, all the public officials that you would like to endorse you, all of the party leaders. You put that list on 1 or 2 pages, and you identify those that you have a relationship with. That is the way it starts. Because if you get the endorsement or the support of somebody who is a leader in your political party, they're going to know people you don't, who might also come on board if you have the right kind of conversation with them. If you get one elected official, that elected official may know other elected officials who might be able to join your crusade. Once you have either a cause-driven organization in your corner or a special interest group in your corner, use them to help you connect with others in that political realm who should be for you. This is the way it starts, especially if you are a first-time candidate. It's the principle of using connections that you have to make connections with people you don't yet know. That is how you build a coalition. It is a lot of time on a telephone. It is a lot of time in face-to-face conversations. But when you execute that well, it is magic. Now, I'm going to share a story with you about how this works in real life because I was intricately involved with it. There was a race for Congress with which I was hired to help a candidate who was a complete newcomer to politics. She just simply woke up one day, looked at the papers, found herself totally disgusted, said to herself, my God, I have a medical degree, I am a doctor, I am a smart person, I can do better than these people who are in office. I'm going to throw my hat into the arena and go for it. And she called me and said, I hear you're pretty good at what you do. Would you be willing to come on board and give me some direction here? We went through this exercise in one of our first meetings. Here she was, brand new. She needed the support of political party leaders she had never met. She needed the support of public officials and office holders that she had never met. She needed the support of cause-driven organizations. And we made the list. And we broke it down. In her county, in her jurisdiction, there were 4 counties. And our first stop was the political party leadership. Not because we expected all of them to be for her, but because we expected that they were going to be skeptical of her because she was a first-time candidate and she had no relationship with them. And you know what? We were right. We saw all 40 county chairs and not a single one would say yes. 3 of them said, we'll wait and see, and if you begin to gain steam, we'll consider quietly supporting you. And then in the other county, it was an outright, get out of here. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to hear about you. I want nothing to do with you, and I'm going to go out of my way to stop you. Not exactly a great beginning. So here's what we did. In that particular county where we knew the county chair was against us, we also knew there were 23 towns and cities that also had smaller party organizations that functioned independently of him. And we quietly went around and visited all 23 of those town and city chairs. That quiet conversation with them got us a meeting in front of their full committees. And we would go, she would present to their full committees. We had someone in the room who would say at the end of her presentation, "I vote to endorse Nan. I believe our committee has heard all they need to hear, and we should endorse her." And what we did on these 23 communities is we quietly went around and got quiet endorsements from them. And then we made them promise not to say a word until we had 12 of the 23, which was more than half of all of the committees. And then we started rolling them out. Day one, we did one committee, and then the next day another committee, and then the next day another committee. The fifth day that we put one of these press releases out, the campaign chairman went ballistic because he had no idea what we had done in building a coalition without him knowing about it. It is a story of how one built a coalition, had to do it in an unusual way that worked extremely well, because the time all 12 of those endorsements were out, half the others who were undecided came in our direction because they could see which way the wind was blowing. She won that county at the convention, and it helped propel her campaign into a successful campaign for Congress. That is the story of how you build a coalition from scratch and do it in an adroit and quiet way. Coalition building is just one of many gears that move inside a political campaign. While this information is fresh in your mind, I'm going to suggest that you watch another video. The link is right below the screen. It's called How to Run for Office, 7 Essential Steps. Grab a pen and go watch it while this is fresh in your mind. By the way, if you're running for office or think you might want to someday, I have a free gift for you. It's called 12 Essential Steps to Prepare for a Political Campaign. The link to that book is underneath this video. All it costs you is a click. Click it, and the email will be on its way to you.